So one of my favorite things to do is to look at cheap stocks when the market pulls on back. It's this perspective of thinking big picture, right? A good example of this, and a lot of you guys really liked this example, is Kroger. A lot of people ask, is something like, TTD, right? Looking at this on the overall day chart, they might be like, well, Ricky, this is selling off. Like, why would I potentially want to buy the dip on this? I agree with you. It wouldn't make much sense to buy the dip right now. I'm just saying it makes sense to pay attention to it because it's cheap, and based off of its previous patterns, it makes higher highs and higher lows. We still need to wait for confirmation, and that's one of the core fundamentals when it comes down to swing trading, right? Kroger, it sold off, same thing. It tested its support at the moving average. It broke above EMA, began to indicate signs of higher highs, and then it made its recovery. Now we're at all-time highs. Now it's overbought. Now it's ready for a pullback. Do you get what I mean? Kroger is at its peak, while many others are a little bit more on the oversold side. And because tech pulled back today, a lot of your tech stocks are probably down as well. You can either think about it of how you feel today or think about a big picture. Because it's down, that means that, again, a lot of these tech stocks, like you're not alone with your tech stock. A lot of these stocks are actually down, meaning that they're very underpriced right now, right? So with that being said, one of my favorite things to do is to talk about and share ideas about what stocks are cheap, what stocks are potentially worth looking into. And if they do begin to make a recovery, then again, the more that you are aware of, the better off that you can potentially perform. But one of the things that I want to do is I want to do a quick little giveaway. This for the next 24 hours. All you literally have to do is 3 things. Subscribe to the channel, drop a thumbs up on this video. Let's make sure that we get over 500 likes. And then the last thing is comment down below what mouse pad you want for free. So I'll ship you this mouse pad. This is from our Shop TechBuds website. Choose any mouse pad that you want for your trading setup, and I will send it to you for free. Next 24 hours, I'll select the winner in tomorrow's video. What I also want to share is one of our sales going on today is not only if you just want a mouse pad, but every order today. Let's say that you want to, buy a Wall Street shirt. Add your favorite flag to the cart and you get the flag for free. So let's say you really like this graffiti duck flag. Don't worry about it. You don't have to pay for it. Just add it to your cart, add your favorite item, and every order today gets a free flag. You just have to make sure that you add it to your cart. And again, that ends in 24 hours. So let's go ahead and get right to it. I'm going to just go down the list. This is a new type of approach. Instead of breaking them down and going into deep detail about what I see in them, I like to focus on 3 things. Stocks that are bullish, stocks that are consistent, and stocks that are cheap. And as you guys can see, this is going to be a long list of most stocks that meet this criteria. And my encouragement for you is, of course, not to add all of them to your watch list, but to cherry pick the ones you don't have and the ones you see value in into your watch list, set effective alerts, and follow up with them when it makes sense. If you feel like I missed a top stock, comment down below. And especially if you really like this video, I'd love to make them for you in the near future. So TTD is one of the first ones, and because there's so many stocks in this list, I'm just gonna start going down the list. So the next one is going to be Visa. Here we go. So now we got JP Morgan. Oh, I'm sorry. This is definitely not the case. I was like, I don't know if I remember it. It is TTD, right? TTD. The next one is ticker symbol ZI. Very oversold, previous highs at $79. MTTR. I'd be very careful with this. It went from highs of $37, aggressively pulled on back, but it offers great potential if it begins to indicate signs of a recovery. But again, stay true to those core fundamentals. The trend is your friend. Direction needs to be in your favor, and right now it's definitely not. ARCB, very oversold, and it was very bullish. That moving average, which is the green line you see on my screen, tends to be what acts as a support level. We'll see if it does this this next test. SWN, a lot of consolidation. This was sent to me by someone within Learn Plan Profit. A lot of consolidation around that $5 price point. We'll see if those higher highs begin to form, but it tends to get rejected right around that 540 resistance level. So just make sure that you're aware of that. Google, of course, we have to talk about it. Apple, one of the most valuable companies that's publicly traded, very oversold. AMD, again, kind of trading sideways right now, but again, a great quality company, a little bit more on the oversold side as of right now. Target, who loves to shop at Target, well, just so that you're aware, TGT, very oversold based off previous highs at around 270. Right now, it's trading at 221. It's not that you have to buy it right now. It's that if you see value in it, add it to your watch list, set effective alerts, and maybe take action when it actually begins to make sense. Costco, one of the biggest pullbacks that it's experienced in a while, right? From highs of 571 right now at 502. Starbucks, very, very oversold, right? How cool would it be to be able to buy stocks and companies that you use every single day? SQ, right? Lower lows, lower highs, getting rejected by that EMA line. Be careful with that one. Nvidia, oversold based off previous highs. Netflix had a really good day today based off of how it like shot up and then kind of corrected itself, but it's still very oversold, not really making some higher highs on the overall big pictures. Microsoft kind of trading sideways, so please make sure you take that into consideration. But again, testing that support level at that moving average. Amazon, definitely one that we have to talk about a little bit more on the oversold side with that $3,200 support level. Hut, who likes, I almost thought this was Pizza Hut, my bad. Very oversold. EMA, waiting for the break above EMA, waiting for the break above the moving average. I would be very, very careful with this. This looks like when it gets going, it's great, but when the direction's not in your favor, it bleeds. So again, no confirmation means no entry. Dick's Sporting Goods, DKS, a lot of consolidation around the moving average. I think it's a stock worth paying attention to, but not really making higher highs right now. SPWR, kind of trading sideways, but yes, a little bit more on the oversold side. eBay was very bullish, kind of trading sideways, kind of like every other tech stock, waiting for confirmation, but I thought it'd be something worth talking about. So this is Carmax, was very bullish, aggressively pulling on back at lows of 113 as of right now, and still bearish, still trading below the 1-day EMA and definitely below the moving average on the day chart. The next one is going to be CRM, which is Salesforce, very oversold, previous highs 311, current price 231. Again, no confirmation of a reversal. We got Plug, very oversold, but no indication of a recovery. We got Lulu, which was a very, very bullish stock. 485 right now, it's trading at 328. It's time to wait for that confirmation, but again, based off previous highs, I thought it'd be something worth talking about. ENTG, consolidating right above, this is one of my favorites. ENTG right above the moving average support, waiting for it to break above the EMA line. Crocs, a lot of consolidation below the EMA line. No higher highs just yet, but in the past 2 years, this thing gained over 2,000% and very consistent with it as well. Boot, which is Boot Barn, very oversold, very consistent and very bullish. A little bit more on the cheaper side right now. We got Etsy. I would be careful with this one. It was at 307. Right now, it's literally almost half the price. But again, the cheap can get cheaper. Just be careful with it. This one's kind of trading sideways. This one, I would be very careful with this one. No indication of reversal. I would wait for the break above around $82 to $85. But it trades sideways from time to time. CELH, it was a very bullish stock, began to trade below the moving average. As of right now, yes, it's cheap based off previous highs at 110, but as of right now, it's at $49, less than half the price. No indication of a recovery just yet. So we got CrowdStrike, very oversold. It was previously very bullish. SoFi, a very popular stock right now, but not indicating any signs of an uptrend. It has a very common support level right around $15, very common resistance level at 23. I'm personally waiting for confirmation of a reversal. We got LAC testing the EMA line, doing a really good job holding above the moving average. Here we go. We got Spotify. I'd be careful with this one. It is cheap, but it's been consolidating down here for a while. So you're not missing out on anything by not being invested in it right now. I would just set my alert. And then if it does get going, then again, based off previous highs at 385, if I'm not mistaken, right now we're at 218. So a lot of margin to be made. You don't have to be perfect with your entries. DocuSign, very cheap. This one was one of the biggest drops that I've seen in a while. And still no indication of a recovery, but again, a very cheap stock based off of previous highs. We got Best Buy, very cheap based off of 141, no indication of a reversal just yet. PTON, the cheap gets cheaper. A lot of consolidation right around $30, but no indication of a recovery and still trading below the EMA line. PLTR, lower low, lower highs. This is Peter Thiel's company, which was one of the original venture capitalists for Facebook. Again, it was doing really good. Now it's not necessarily. I would just set an alert. I have my alert for the break above 18 and 20. If it begins to indicate signs of a recovery, I'd love to follow up with it. The next one's Autodesk. Cheap, based off of previous highs at 328. Right now it's at 259. All right, we got lower highs, lower lows, but it's a little bit on the cheaper side. This is Nordstrom. Now we got Mara, again, a very popular stock. This is a hyped up stock, meaning that when it gets going, it pushes. But when it drops and there's no indication of reversal, I wouldn't touch it. So again, just set those alerts. Fubo, lower lows, lower highs. It's cheap, but still trading below the EMA line. Still trading below the EMA line on Bumble for all my single people out there. But again, cheap based off previous highs. I would also, if you decide to trade it for the break above the EMA line, I would look out for the resistance at the moving average. Disney, lower highs, lower lows. But again, it's a little bit more on the cheaper side. Zillow, the cheap gets cheaper. Again, this one saw a really big drop. I'd be very, very careful with that one. Upstart, very cheap based off of its 401 price point. It is literally a quarter of what it was worth before. I would be very careful with your entry, but I just thought I'd talk about it based off of how cheap it is based off of what it used to trade at. All right, so this is Garmin. We got ticker symbol GRMN. Very cheap based off of previous highs, not making some higher highs or higher lows, but it looks like it's kind of establishing its support level at 128. We'll just wait for that confirmation of a reversal. Texas Instrument, we can see that it's kind of trading sideways. Again, a little bit more on the cheaper side. Snapchat, cheaper side. TMUS, which is T-Mobile, something to take into consideration. Bearish as of right now, but it was very bullish at 150. Right now it's at 108. We got Visa. Still trading below the moving average, but based off of its 250 previous price point right now at 214. Again, I thought it'd be something worth talking about. We got, is this Agilent? Yep. So let's see. Waiting for the break. The reason that I really like this one is because of how bullish it was before. But as you guys can tell with many of these different stocks, a lot of them offer a lot of great potential. They're just not indicating signs of a recovery. So my focus and encouragement for you is please, 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 I can't stress this enough. Only add the ones you actually see yourself trading and see value in, right? So this one, it was very bullish. I personally don't know the company myself, so I just don't know if this is something that I would actually choose to take advantage of, but it's a little bit more on the cheaper side based off of its previous highs at 179. Carvana, 156 based off of its previous price point at 376. You know, if there's a stock that can symbolize that cheap can get cheaper, I think it's Carvana. We got FedEx trying to indicate signs of recovery. Previous lows at 216, previous highs at 320. We'll see if we can trade above that moving average, something I would personally want to continue to pay attention to. Win. Again, a huge resort, right? Waiting for proper indication for the trade above the moving average, but it is doing a good job trying to establish its support level and hold above $75 to $80 of a price point. And then we got ZM, which is Zoom. Zoom's kind of been on a downfall ever since its peak of the pandemic, making lower highs and lower lows and kind of losing its edge on how to stay competitive and increase its demand levels. But again, it's cheap, so this is why I'm talking about it. So we got SKX. Kind of trading sideways, but based off previous highs, a little bit more on the cheaper side. And then it kind of just goes to, let me see, we got Kroger, which is not cheap anymore. I don't know why I still have it on this list. We got PayPal, definitely very cheap. We got Wix, very cheap. And then the last one, Pinterest. Again, the cheap gets cheaper. So I don't know how many stocks those were. Those were quite a bit, but let me know what you guys think about that. Again, I know it's a lot of information. My focus only within this video is really just to share a bunch of stocks, and when you see them, right, if you weren't aware that they were publicly traded or you like the setup that they offer based off of how you see value in, to add them to your watch list, set effective alerts, and of course follow up with it when they make the most sense. One of the things that I did want to encourage you guys to do is, I'm not too sure if you guys follow me on Instagram, that is that second link in the description. Any questions you have, if you want to join our Learn Plan Profit group, if you have questions about our live trading session, if you have questions about simply getting started, I respond to all of my direct messages on Instagram. There's so many fake Instagram accounts. My only Instagram account is the second link in the description. I have 192,000 followers, and just know that again, that is my only Instagram account. I have nothing else. I don't trade crypto, nothing like that. So please be aware of that. Friendly reminder, again, we're doing our giveaway next 24 hours, free mouse pad. Subscribe, drop a thumbs up, and comment down below what mouse pad you want for free. And the third link in the description is shoptechbuds.com. All orders say get a free flag. Just make sure that you add your favorite flag to your cart. You can buy a flag and then add another flag and get the second one for free. It's that simple. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.